Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and continue on this Microworld project. So make sure to check out the first video if you don't know how I got to this point. So I'm ready to start adding a subject or something that's going to live on my, oopsies, something that's going to live on my Microworld. So I'm going to open up my little tree, and I'm first going to do that one. So File, Open. This is a stock image, so it's going to be nice and easy to select. I have my tolerance, well, let's see, I'm going to use my magic wand because this is on a white background, so it's going to be super easy to select that white background. I'm going to set my tolerance a little bit higher, maybe 25. I'm going to make sure that contiguous is not checked, and I'm going to go ahead and try and select the white portions. Okay, oh, actually, I'm going to just copy and paste this whole thing into my file first. So Control A, Control C, Control V. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that this is on top of everything, and I can shrink it down later. I'm actually going to make it big while I'm working on it. Okay, so there we go. And again, from the internet, you can just right-click, copy, and paste it straight in. So I'm going to select my white. Then I'm going to hop up here to select and mask, and you can see that it's actually selecting the opposite of what I want. I've selected all the white because it's easy to do that, but I really want to select the tree. So I'm going to hop down here to where this says invert, and I'm going to change it so that way it's selecting my tree instead of the white. Okay, I'm going to hit Smart Radius. I'm just going to drag this around until it looks like I have a nice selection, and ooh, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to say OK, and now I'm ready to hit Layer Mask. So again, this little layer mask is right here, and you can see that cut this tree out nice. Okay, ooh, I like that. Now, I don't want this like planter down here. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that using the brush on my layer mask, kind of like we did in our last project when we had portions that we didn't need. I'm actually going to Control T. I think I want to flip this other way. Okay, I'm going to zoom in, and on my layer mask, you can see black hides portions of the picture, so I want to hide this planter. So I'm just going to use my brush. Again, shortcut is B. I'm going to get the color black, so make sure that your color is set to black. If you need to hit this little thing, you can also hit X on your keyboard. Make sure black is in front. I'm going to lower my opacity, and I'm going to make sure I'm choosing a soft brush so I can just kind of fade this out. I think I want maybe some of the gravel or dirt that's there, but I don't want all of that. You can see there we go. So again, how did I do that? Let me go back. See if I can show you. Oh, it's going to take too long. Well, again, I'm just using my brush to get rid of that, to touch that up. Okay, so there we go. So now I have like a little tree on there. I'm going to also open up my rabbit. And here we go. I'm going to open this rabbit. And this rabbit, I don't think I'm going to use the magic wand, because even though it would be very easy to use the magic wand to select the white portions, I think that I'm going to have some issues because there's actually some white in the rabbit. So I'm going to use the quick selection, and I'm going to, again, the quick selection is here. Magic wand selects color, quick selection selects outlines. I'm going to go ahead and get this rabbit as best I can, and again, I'm not going to spend forever for this video. All right, that's looking pretty good. So I'm going to hop up in here to select and mask. And I'm going to do the Smart Radius. And I'm actually going to go through here, and oh, that's pretty good. So I'll say OK. And I'm actually going to copy this because I did it in its own document. So I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to paste the rabbit in here. Okay, and if there's portions of your subject that you need to get rid of, I'm going to just pop a little layer mask on here. So I'm going to pop a layer mask on, and then I'm going to manually take my black paintbrush. So I'm going to go to my brush. There's my black paintbrush, low opacity, and I'm just going to kind of get rid of some of these portions that I don't need. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right, my rabbit's looking pretty good. I think my rabbit is, again, remember how I have this shadow over here and shadow here? I think I want some shadow on this side of the rabbit, so I'm gonna do a new layer. So I'm gonna open up a new layer, this little sticky note looking thing. I still have my black paintbrush selected, and I'm gonna go ahead and maybe a really low opacity paintbrush. I'm just gonna paint a little bit of shadow on this side of the rabbit. And I don't like that it's on my background, so I'm going to right click and say create clipping mask. And so you can see that my shadow is only being applied to the rabbit. I'm also going to give my rabbit a little shadow underneath of it. So this is my rabbit layer, so I'm going to create a new layer. And so right here, new layer, and I'm going to drag the layer below my rabbit. So here's my rabbit and here's my layer. And I'm gonna just take my black paintbrush and I'm gonna paint just a little bit underneath my rabbit to kind of give the impression that it's there. Okay, so I've got my rabbit. You can add some other things as well. So I added some rocks, I added this, that, tweak the color. Again, I don't want to spend forever in this demo, so I'm just gonna show you how to add a few atmospheric things. So I'm going to show you if you want to do, I have a rainbow, I have some light rays. Let me go ahead and open those things up to show you how to apply those. So here's a light ray, rainbow, and I'll open one of these clouds. Oh, okay. All right, so I've got some images. If you get images that are black and white, it's going to be super easy to use your blend mode. So I'm going to just do this cloud, Control A, Control C. And again, we did this in our last project, the polar vortex worlds. I'm going to go ahead and maybe slap a cloud on here. Let's put a little cloud up here. And how do I get rid of that black? The easiest thing to do is to just use a blend mode. So where it says drop down normal, I'm going to drop down over here, and I think screen is going to work nicely. You can see, there we go, have a little cloud. I can duplicate this same cloud, so right click, duplicate, or I can push Control J on my keyboard. And there we go, now I have another little cloud that maybe I'll put this one in front. Change your sizes, you know, you can duplicate things, you can take the same thing, you know, move it around. You can Control T, right click, flip horizontal if you want to just repeat some of the same objects. So there's some clouds that you can use. I have those included for you. Say no. All right, here's a light ray. I can use this as a light source. Control A, Control C, oopsies, Control V. And same thing, I can just use my blending mode, sorry. Okay, so I'm noticing, oopsies, that I can't really see some of this stuff. So I think my overall document is a little bit too bright. So I'm gonna go ahead and this background layer, I think I'm gonna make that a little bit darker. So you can see just by changing that a little darker, now I can see some of those effects a little bit better. There we go, so I've got that. Again, all I did was change my color right here. So I've got this light ray, maybe I'll duplicate that, make it a little brighter. Maybe I'll duplicate it again. Control J, I'm just doing Control J, moving these things around. Okay, there we go. Let's see, I've used this one. The rainbow, that's another one, Control A, Control C. All I need to do is put this on the screen blend mode. I'm just putting this on, and again, I'm changing this to screen. I would do these light effects, you know, as you sort of get to the end. You know, worry about getting your subject, your stuff on your little floating island first. You know, you want more than one rainbow? Sure. I'll do another rainbow. Maybe this one. I'll do a little lower opacity so it's just not too much. A little more subtle. Okay, I got my rainbow. Let's see, I think I already have clouds. So there's more than one cloud file that are there for you to use. I'm going to go ahead and close these. All right, so some other things you might want to add. atmospheric things, light rays, clouds, etc. The final thing I'm going to do is start like tweaking my colors. I don't like kind of how all these colors are looking together. I think this grass is a little bit too bright. So I'm going to go ahead and find where my grass is. I'm going to scroll down. Here's my grass, and I think it's just a little bit too bright. So I'm going to open from my little black-white yin-yang circle the hue saturation, and I'm just going to knock down this saturation just a little bit because it just seemed a little too much. Okay, so there we go. It's a little bit less saturated. It seems to match a little bit better. And that is how you can create a micro world. Oh, let me get it.